My name is Cynthia Njiguna, and like I told you that we're going to be having healthy conversations right here on the home of Fresh and Classic Kids. And today I'm joined by a nutritionist. She is Lucy Chege, not first time to be here, but I'm so happy to see her again. Karibu sana Lucy.
Asante sana.
It's good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
Uko sawa? Uko salama? Kila kitu kiko shwari?
Kabisa.
Karibu sana on Pearl Play.
Thank you.
Yes, and today Lucy Chege, she's actually a nutritionist, and like I mentioned earlier on that we're going to be talking about ulcers management, and I know that many people wako na solutions nyingi sana za Google sijui za kufanya nini about ulcers management. So that is actually basically the conversation that we'll be having right here on Pearl Play today. So if you have any questions, make sure that you send them through 0702969969, 0702969969. Maybe a little bit of an introduction to Lucy Chege ni nani, unafanyanga nini, and then you tell us more about ulcers.
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Lucy Chege. I am a certified nutritionist and the founder of Nutrition Therapy by Lucy, where we deal with all matters nutrition, medical nutrition therapy. If you want diabetes management, you come there, weight management, all those services. And also, besides my profession, I am a mother and I am a mom to a beautiful girl and also a wife.
I know that Maithi is actually listening to us right now. Shout out to you, and let us dive into a conversation of the day. Today we're talking about matters, ulcers, and maybe for that person, sometimes we always talk about ulcers, but how to do ulcers ni nini by the way? What is ulcers?
When you talk about ulcers, we're talking about when you have sores inside the stomach lining. It could be on your stomach, or that is the gastric ulcers, or you can have the duodenal. When you have the sores inside your small intestine. So that is basically what is ulcers, having sores in your stomach.
Yes. Sores kwa stomach. How does it feel to have ulcers? Because I know that sometimes tunafikiria tuko na ulcers, but it could be something else. How does it feel to have ulcers?
Actually, you can confuse maybe heartburns, those prickings, but when you have ulcers, mostly the most common symptoms when you have burning sensation inside your stomach, and they happen mostly when you eat and maybe when you are extremely hungry. Yes.
Sasa ndo unasikia hizo.
Unasikia zinaanza kuchoma ile tunasema properly. And also when they are severe, you could be vomiting blood, or maybe your stool inaweza kuwa stained na blood. But that's when the ulcers they take much time before they get treated. You can have blood stained stool. Yes.
And wow. This is a question to you, Lucy. What is actually the cause of ulcers? What causes ulcers?
There are so many causes and also the risk factors, but there are two major causes of ulcers or the stomach ulcers. One is abuse of non-steroidal inflammatory drugs, the NSAIDs, and also the bacteria Helicobacter pylori. Tunasema kila mtu niko na H. pylori. Now those are the two major causes of the stomach ulcers. Yes. Like the NSAIDs or the non-steroidal inflammatory drugs, we are talking about the drugs like Brufen, aspirin, these major drugs.
Overuse of those drugs.
Yeah, when you abuse them. Like maybe you have a headache, you have some stomach ache, you go grab such medicine. When you use them for a longer time, they can corrode your stomach, can compromise your stomach mucosa lining, and then later you can find yourself having an ulcer. Yeah, and also the H. pylori. That's when I think tunaijua sana. Yes.
H. pylori and maybe overuse of drugs.
Yeah, the NSAIDs drugs. Yes.
Okay. And are there, type of ulcers, if you may know? Because mi najua tu stomach ulcers, honestly speaking.
Yeah, tukisema the stomach ulcer include all other ulcers because we have the gastric ulcer. That is when you have a sore inside the stomach lining, and also you can have a duodenal ulcer. That is when you have a sore on the upper portion of the small intestine, and also you can have both. Yeah, the combination of the two. So those are two major ulcers. We can say they are peptic ulcer, including the stomach and also the small intestine. Yes.
And today we are basically dealing with the stomach ulcers.
The stomach ulcers.
And at what point do I need to go and see a doctor if I have ulcers? Because sometimes we just ignore, you have these symptoms, but you just ignore. At what point do you know that you need to go and see a doctor?
I think when sometimes the symptoms can be unbearable. Like, for example, when you see maybe you're vomiting, the vomit has some blood stains, your stool has some blood stains, the pain is becoming unbearable, the burning sensation. I think that is don't wait for the extreme pains. In case you realize you have something is not going on well with your stomach, just go for the screening. Don't just self-diagnose yourself, say maybe ulcers, I'm going just to take the antacids. Just go get the stool test, any other test to confirm indeed it's an ulcer. Yes.
Do you have like home solutions that I can test myself at home and maybe know that I have ulcers? Ama lazima tu niende kwa daktari?
When you're talking about ulcer, ni ngumu useme, oh, now that's ulcers. You can only suspect it's an ulcer because of the symptoms, but you must do a confirmatory test. That's have your blood taken, your stool taken to confirm it's ulcers. But I don't think there is that home self-diagnosis. I don't think. You must do a confirmatory test.
Lazima tuende kwa daktari.
Yes.
Sawa. And are there some food that triggers, ulcers, now the stomach ulcers? Because you get people who say, mimi niko na ulcers, I can't take beans, sijui vegetables like sukuma wiki, kales and everything. Are there foods that trigger ulcers?
Yeah, yes, foods. Actually, let me say this clearly. Foods, they don't cause ulcers. They can only irritate or corrode the stomach lining. And there are foods that can do irritate. You're talking about the acidic foods, the acidic fruits, things like the oranges, things like the beans. Sana hizi za red, you're not talking about the yellow beans. They can irritate your mucosal lining. Or anything that you take, now una feel after eating this food, una feel those symptoms. Those are some of the foods that maybe you should avoid. Yes.
Okay.
And things like alcohol, obviously, are going to corrode your mucosal lining. Yes.
So kwa hivyo watu ambao wanasema wako na ulcers and then they take alcohol, tunawaona 18. And we got a lot of questions. By the way, someone is actually asking, can fasting cause, stomach ulcer, Lucy?
Maybe when you do it over a long period of time, but I'm not discouraging fasting sana kama ni religious, but kuna fasting, kuna hiyo when you fast, it's dry. There are others that maybe you are supposed to take some food or fluids, but fasting, not really, maybe when you have other underlying conditions.
96.9 FM, Pearl Radio.